In a small town in one of the northern states, life went on in a measured and quiet way. There was a school with a rich history and a friendly staff. The school was proud of its orchestra, which won awards at various competitions every year. One of the stars of the orchestra was Sylvia Watson, a talented 8th grader who played the violin. Sylvia was a reserved and hard-working girl. Music was her passion and salvation. Teachers and students respected Sylvia for her talent. She often stayed after school in the empty school building to hone her skills when no one could disturb her. One fall evening, when the school was already empty, Sylvia lingered in the music room. She was playing a tune and didn't notice the school janitor enter the room. Peter Grayson was a strange man who was the subject of rumors, but no one took them seriously. He seemed withdrawn, but polite, and always did his job without complaint. That night, something about him changed. His gaze became cold and gloomy, and he held a heavy metal object in his hands. There was a thud in the empty corridors of the school, and then everything fell into silence. That evening, Sylvia did not return home. Her parents reported her missing, but the police were unable to find any trace of her. The next day, the school was in an uproar. Sylvia's body was never found. It soon became clear that Sylvia had gone missing. A few days later, the students began to notice strange things. One of the boys opened his locker and found something terrible inside. He saw a severed finger. He screamed, and when the teachers came running, there was nothing inside. The incident was considered a child's fantasy until other students began reporting similar finds. Pieces of bodies, hair, sometimes even blood. All of these things would appear in the lockers, but would disappear as soon as someone tried to show them. The scariest thing, however, were the sounds. At night, when the school was empty, the watchman would hear a violin. A sad, tearful melody echoed from the music room. Those who dared to enter saw a girl with long, dark hair standing with her back turned. She was playing the violin, but as soon as they came closer, the figure vanished into thin air. Some teachers said it was a mass psychosis caused by the tragedy. Sometimes they saw Sylvia's figure in the reflection of the windows or heard her quiet voice asking for help. Students became afraid to open their lockers. From time to time, the findings would recur: a hand, an eye, sometimes even parts of clothing. However, it would all disappear, leaving behind only fear. The police investigated, but could find no explanation. One day, the inexplicable happened. A full orchestra appeared in the music room in the evening. The CCTV cameras recorded the students gathered in the room and started playing instruments. The video footage showed Sylvia standing among them. She was conducting, and her eyes glowed with a grim fire. In the morning, none of the children remembered how they had gotten there. The urban legend spread quickly. Stories began to be told about Sylvia, passed on by word of mouth. Some claimed her spirit was trying to avenge her death. Others said she just wanted to be found and buried in peace. A few brave students attempted a ritual to appease Sylvia's spirit. They brought an old picture of her, candles, and her favorite tune that they turned on their phones. When the tune played, a cold wind rose in the room, the candles went out, and Sylvia's voice rang through the air, "Help me." From that moment on, the strange things began to happen even more frequently. Teachers began to quit, and parents took their children out of school. The building emptied out and was closed after a few months. However, locals claim that even years later, you can hear a violin playing in the silence of the night and see lights in the windows of the old building. They say it is Sylvia seeking justice by playing her sad melody